Go to our first call. Mike Stannard is on the line from Lowestoft in the United Kingdom. Mike, it's your line to Torvill and Dean.
Yeah, hello. I was just interested, really, to elaborate on what you were saying earlier, that do you consider skating really a legitimate Olympic sport or more of an art form?
It's a real crossover, I think, because it has two elements to it. It has the sportive side, the technical side that you're judged on, but there's also the artistic side, which is aesthetics and it's personal opinion. It's not like somebody's runs faster, jumps higher. It's really personally based on what you consider to be better than the other person. And so most Olympic sports don't have that, except for in diving and I think in gymnastics too, and in dressage.
But it means that you are dependent at the end of the day on the subjective judgment of the judges. It's not like football where somebody wins 2-1 or not. Other times when you feel that the judges, they just really got it wrong? You don't have to give examples.
No. I have to say, I think skating is like life and it's like politics, that as much goes into a skating event as it's like a microcosm of life, because there's so many politics that go into it about what people think about you as people. You know,
well, there were politics around the 1994 Olympics.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. You know, as much as you say, well, shouldn't that be removed? I mean, it would be lovely, but it's a fact of life. It's nature. It's in us, I think. And so, when people are being subjective, and when there's a group of people, people will be led by their opinions wherever they form their opinions.
Okay, let's take some more email. This is a question for Christopher from Amy Olsen in New York. Do you have any plans to form an ice dance company like John Carey's group?
We feel that in the shows that we've produced, that we've been going down that line, not to the degree that we're trying to be balletic on ice, but we're experimenting with what we do with ice skating in a choreographic form. And in the future, I think that will always be where we're coming from. We're always trying to develop it as a narrative. So I think they are similar. I think we tend to be a little bit more mainstream than John was, because we tend to go into big arenas and to get specific audiences. I mean, it's fine in theatres, but in big arenas, you've got to be much more mainstream.
All right, Alvin has called us from India. And he wants to know, what are your goals now? Now, you started training. What is the aim? What's the objective?
Well, we usually work for the next thing, really. At the moment, our next performance will be in June in
where
Japan.
Will that be? That'll be in Japan.
We're guesting with another show.
But we've got an exciting project later in the year with a cellist called Yo-Yo Ma, and it's to one of the Bach suites, which is you know, a real departure from mainstream. It's very specific to working with this eminent cellist and with this difficult piece of music, and I think it's going to be a challenge for us too.
Now, there was a documentary made about you. I want to show a clip of this documentary.
Oh, I know which bit you don't show.
Let's see. Let's have a look at it.
What's your problem? Is it heavy?
No, I was holding up before, remember?
You did one and dropped it on one.
Yeah, I did.
You look stupid. I mean, you still want to be here, do you?
Yeah.
Well, why don't you use it?
Of course, it takes more than one go.
I know, but one, that's too quick anyway.
No, why was he giving you such a bad time there?
Only terrible.
Oh, well, this was the day after, the first training day after we competed in the European Championships in '94. And all we'd worked for over the last several months, we were told was actually the wrong technique. The technique that we'd lived by our whole lives. It was completely different.
It would be a huge change.
And I was quite adamant not to, because I felt that, you know, what we developed over the years was true to what we believed in. And we were trying to do something else to conform to what the judges were asking for. But I didn't believe that whatever that we did, it would be right anyway.
And that caused the tension.
And I didn't want to skate that day, which is unusual. You know, we're both keen to go in and work, and I was very disillusioned by the whole sport at that point. And Chris was pushing.
Now that we got some email here, Paul Curran has emailed us from Liverpool in the United Kingdom. And he says, also with reference to that documentary, do you, Chris, consider yourself to be a bully in rehearsals? We'll ask Jane after as well. So
well, most probably.
Yes,
I mean,
I suppose someone has to be in a way for this kind of
we've been
competition.
together. This is our 21st year of skating together, and if it was like that every day,
So it can't be too bad of Billy.
No, we'd have finished
wouldn't
after
still
the
be
first
together.
year, I think.
Did you regret doing that documentary in the end?
Yes, I think so.
Jane still does today, but a lot of people have come afterwards and said that it was a real insight and actually gave them more of a perspective of what we had to do and what was, it's not just turning up at the Olympics. There is a lot of tension, a lot of things to get through to get to that point. Even when you're at a very high standard, that you've then still got to go on. You can't stop there. It's still pushing and pushing, and like the documentary showed.
Do ice skaters at your level just go on like rock stars, or does age click in at some stage?
It's clicked.
I think it seems to us that there's more opportunities now. When years ago, if you finished competing as an amateur, there wasn't the professional circuit, and everything stopped in the amateur world, and then you either taught skating or you became a judge, whatever. But nowadays there's so many more opportunities, and there is the opportunities to go on and compete as professionals, which has slightly less stringent rules, and people sort of enjoy that freedom a little bit more, I think. So, to answer your question, people are staying at it a little bit longer.
I see. Well, that's a good thing. I can't resist the opportunity, since you're both here, to show a bit of Bolero. I know you've seen it hundreds of times, but I want to see it again. Let's have a look at it. We run out of time. I wanted to see more of that. Listen, thanks for Chris for joining us. Good luck to both of you, whatever you do this year. That's it for this week. I'll be back at the same time next Tuesday, so try to join me then. Bye-bye.